Hey guys, what's going on? This is Bucking Bronco 1968, aka Mason, and this is kind of a video that the first video that I did earlier tonight was kind of a test video for this video, and this video isn't really a playthrough video, which is why I'm in a custom pilotage so that I don't have to worry about anybody shooting me down or nothing like that. This is I don't want to call it a rant, but it's kind of a rant, and it's nothing to do with War Thunder. As anybody can easily notice by by my profile picture on my YouTube channel, or by my username of War Thunder, or just by the skin that I have on my B-17 right now. I am a brony. Plain and simple. And this is going to be slightly awkward because I do know somebody who now watches these videos who doesn't know about that, so this is going to be an interesting conversation to have with him next time I see him. But besides that point, I am a brony, and I am a big fan of the show. I mean, I got the plushies, I got the blanket. I mean, obviously my account name is showing it. I'm a fan of the show, and you know, I show it on my YouTube, I show it in my FimFiction, Shameless Plug Go, which is the same name as this. But besides that point, the reason I bring that up is because I have a grievance that kind of goes along with the Brony Fandom, and it's something that I noticed playing War Thunder, which is why we have a playthrough right here going along in the background. So I don't know how long this is going to run, but we'll see what happens. So about a week ago, I was actually right here in another pilotage. I was in this B-17. I was over at this far airfield that I can see off in the distance right there. I was having a good time chatting, and obviously, with my username being my little brony, it's obvious for the people around me to tell that I'm a brony or I'm a troll, but it's officially being a brony. And I was lucky enough that there were two bronies in the lobby, and you know, I started chatting with them and having, you know, back and forth, nothing too big like oh my gosh and that's all we talked about, but you know, it was like a cool, oh hey, you like my show too, and this, that, the other thing. So we're talking with them, and then there were two other people in the lobbies, and I'm not going to name names because that's not the guy I am, and that's not what this is about. One guy was by our definition, a hater, but he wasn't being mean or anything about it, as far as I can remember. As I said, this is a week ago as of recording. And there was another guy who just plainly didn't understand the love for the show. So I got into conversations with both of them. The one guy was just asking about it like he'd heard of it, and he'd seen it with his sister before, and he kind of just was asking us, like, you know, why do you like this? What's the deal? He wasn't being mean about it. He wasn't anything like that. He was just being inquisitive. He was being curious, and you know, I have no problem with that. They're asking about the show. They're asking why, and for us as bronies, our job is to spread that, is to spread our love of the show to people who will accept it. But that's where this is where my grievance comes in. And it has to deal with the other guy. Now, as I said, he was being a slight hater. He knew of the show, and it seemed like he had watched it, and he was slightly hating on me and the other guys for being bronies. Now, I've had some people really, really attack me before. That's not what this guy was doing. In all honesty, he wasn't really being that bad of a bad sport about it. But you know, things happen, and you know, I don't completely remember the conversation, but I remember saying, "Oh, are you hating on us?" And the guy was being a little respectable about it and whatnot. And you know, I can respect if he didn't like the show. He had seen it, he didn't like it. You know, that's fine. People are going to have different tastes. Us as bronies, we seem weird to other people, and not everyone is going to like what we like, and we have to accept that. But what really started this whole grievance thing, and what I've been leading up to with this whole conversation so far, is what what one of the bronies that was in the one of the other bronies in the lobby did. He went after this guy hard. Like, oh, why you hating on us, this, that, the other thing. And, you know, I was a little put off at that. And what I mean by that is that I hadn't expected it at all. And this is where the grievance lies. Guys, we're bronies. And we all, and you know who you are. The people who I'm talking to, you know who you are, obviously. We are a deviant group. We like a little girl show, and there are going to be people who don't like us because of that. Who don't like us because of that fact. And they're going to hate on us. And we have to accept that. It's going to happen. We can't change it. We can do our best to try and go to these people like, have you watched this show? If they say no, well then, you know, give the show a chance. If they have, then we have to accept that there are going to be people who don't like the show. And there are still going to be people, even if they have watched the show, who see us and are going to hate on us. And because of who we are, we have to accept that. Now, I'm not saying curve to these people and nothing like that. No. What I'm saying is, when you're a brony, and I've learned this through everything that I've done, you're going to have people who just want to try and make you feel terrible about yourself. And the thing is, that's not what this guy was trying to do. In all retrospect, looking back on it, he was very much like the other guy, being inquisitive about it, but with a little bit more hate thrown into it. And then there was the other brony who went and just attacked him for what, all in honesty, is probably my mistake for saying that he was hating. But, again, this is where the grievance lies. We can't just go around attacking these people who attack us. It can't work like that. We can't do that, guys. We just can't. There's a saying in this group, in this fandom, love and tolerate. And I know that started back on Co and back on 4chan, and that was actually an insult previously. But it's become our fandom motto. And we have become one of the best fandoms to be a part of. I mean, I've seen what we've done with all the charity donations, and what everybody does for each other. I mean, it's great. But we can't do that, guys. We can't have people who attack haters. Because in that retrospect, we're no better than them. And it's just fueling their fire. It is. In all honesty, that's what it's doing. They want a reaction out of us. It's just like schoolyard bullies. And I know where I'm coming from with that. I've been bullied for years. For reasons that I will get into in a different video. They're not for this video, and they don't have to deal with MOP. But they were... those reasons, and being bullied like that, is why I came to this fandom. It's why I joined it, because I saw it as a place where people could be who they are and not be hated for it. And that's what this fandom is, and that's the great thing about it. But there's also the other side to that argument. The other side that I just brought up. We can't have these people just going off and attacking the haters. And I know people are going to go, but they're hating on us and this, that, the other thing. That's fine. I agree. But, as I said, we have to expect that. And we can't just use the fact that they're hating on us to go and attack them. Because it doesn't help us in the long run. It doesn't. It's going to make things worse. And we already deal with enough hate in this fandom. And adding more to it isn't helping anybody. And it's not helping us be who we are. So, that's kind of my question here is, why do some of us do this? I have to admit that I've been guilty of it. I've gone and attacked a couple of haters before, but they were being very disrespectful. There's one situation where the guy was basically going, "You're not a man, kill yourself because I watch this show." And that's retrospect, yes. Be defensive. There's nothing wrong with that, but be defensive. Don't stoop to their levels, because then we're no better than them in no way, shape, or form. And that doesn't help us. That doesn't enforce what being... That's not what this fandom is about. This fandom is about everybody who has been united by this show. And the thing about this fandom is it goes far beyond what the show is. And anybody who watches it can agree with me. This fandom isn't just about the show. It's about everything that has come because of the show. All the fanfics, all the fan music, all the fan animations, everything that has come of this show. People who would have never had these friends have millions of, well, not millions, but hundreds and hundreds of friends now because of this one fandom. I'll admit it. It's because it's happened to me. I have a great group of guys that I talk to on Skype now who I got in connection with because of this fandom that I never would have had if I hadn't joined it. Which is why I love this fandom, and which is why I love being a part of it. And I'm not ashamed of being a brony. But in the same way, we just can't do that. We can't attack the haters like that. As I said, being defensive is one thing. Being like, I like this show, have you even watched it? If you haven't, then, you know, this, that, the other thing. And one of the things I love to bring up is when people question, you know, this is a little girl show, how can you possibly watch this? There's a quote by Lauren Faust, and everybody who's a brony should know who she is. And I know you guys do. And for the people who don't know, she is the creator of MLP. There was not the creator, but the creator of the generation that we're all fans of. And that's, the generation thing is for something that I'm not bringing that up. That's not worth it. It's a whole nother discussion. Anyways, back on topic. There's a quote from her, and I'm just going to paraphrase it. She created this show. She created this generation of show. She planned it the way she did because she had seen the previous generations, and especially the generation previous to this one that we watch. They were basically toddler fodder. They were just shiny things put on the screen to distract children so that the parents could slip away and have a drink or a smoke or whatever. She wanted this show to be something different. She wanted the show to be something that parents could watch with their kids and enjoy. And in that, when you put it into that context, us liking this show, it's not out of the ordinary when you think of it that way. It makes sense. It wasn't the group that she was targeting. It wasn't the group that the show was made for. But she made it so that groups like us could watch and enjoy the show. So when you think about it, there's nothing wrong with it. It was made so that people of older ages could watch and enjoy. And here's a great example. In one of the episodes, there's a reference to The Big Lebowski. It's actually in 2 episodes now because of season 5. There was a reference to The Big Lebowski, which is an R-rated movie, which I'm pretty sure little girls of 5 to whatever, I don't know the age range for the show officially, but little girls of that age range probably have not seen it. If they have seen, then I'm going to question it, but they've most likely not seen. That's a reference for us, and it's a very obvious reference. And it's stuff like that that makes people love this fandom. And it's stuff like that that keeps people in this fandom. And when And it's references like that that I love. I mean, I love going into these episodes trying to figure out, what's the next reference, what is going to be next, so that I can have something to talk with my guys, or just for me to enjoy. And it's reasons like that why I love being in this fandom. And when I see stuff like this, these people just going in and basically doing the opposite of what this fandom has always taught, which is love and tolerate. Just let people be who they are. It saddens me. It really gets me upset, and it makes me, wonder, just why. I mean, I understand people are going to get defensive, especially some of the fans of this show, when people, attack them over liking it. But as I said, this fandom is based on the quote now, love and tolerate, and we have to tolerate that we don't have to love these people. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that these people are in the right. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is we have to tolerate the fact that there are going to be people who don't like us because we watch this show. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's something that we should accept, but it's something we're going to have to tolerate because it's never going to change. I'm sorry to say it. As much as we want, it's not going to change. But it doesn't mean we should stop trying. But we have to choose our battles. There are some times we're getting into an hour-long flame war on the internet with somebody who's a definite hater and who's not going to change his mind. It's not worth it in that sense. We have to pick our battles. And this was a battle that was picked badly. Because this guy wasn't being very disrespectful. He was being a little bit. But he was being a little bit disrespectful. And, that wasn't okay. But the way this other guy went after him, and again, I'm not naming names because that's not what this is about. The way he went after him was not okay. It wasn't. And it's stuff like that I personally don't want to see. But it happens, I have to accept that, and I have to tolerate that. And that's what this is about. But I just don't understand why there are some people who the second somebody says something bad about this fandom, they immediately jump on and start attacking that person. I don't understand it. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. Maybe somebody who has done this and continues to do this can explain it to me why this is something that they do. Because I really don't understand it. And I think there's a lot of people who don't understand it. And I know this video is not going to probably isn't going to get very much popularity, but for the people who watch it, please, just, especially the bronies, which I hope there are a couple who end up seeing this video, honestly think about what this fandom means to you. This fandom means a lot to me. Again, for another video, there's a lot that this fandom has helped me get through. And I'm very grateful for that. And there's a lot that I wouldn't have done. Or there's a lot that I wouldn't have known. And it's just stuff that this fandom has helped me grow. And for a lot of people, that's the truth too. I know there are other people that this fandom has helped them grow and helped them realize who they are. Now, I'm not a voice actor, I'm not a musician, but I am a fanfic writer. Are they good? Probably by most definitions, no. They're probably not. But the thing is, with the way this fandom is, anybody can put their own spin on it. And yes, there's going to be hate for it, from people inside the fandom, which is, again, hating on other people's stuff. That's not okay. I see it all the time on Fim, and I just don't understand it. I don't. Some of it makes sense with all the with some of the full con stuff that happens, but you know, my best advice for that I want to have come out of this whole video, which has turned into a nearly half-hour long rant, and I don't really want to call it a rant, but call it what it is. This conversation, I will put it best. What I want to have come out of this is, when it comes to haters or things in the fandom that you don't personally like, my best intent is the best thing that I have to say to that is just try and avoid it. If there's a hater that jumps into a game lobby that you have and you have no problem exiting it, or you're with a group of friends and they have no problem leaving, leave the lobby. Don't get into a chat. Don't get into a chat war with them, because it's not worth it. Maybe if you stayed on long enough, you'd convince them to watch the show, but in 99% of the time, it's not going to happen. Just avoid them. I understand that we can't keep running from problems like that, but when our solution is just to stoop down to their levels and do the same thing back to them, I think the best thing is just to leave, just to avoid it altogether. And when it comes to stuff on FimFiction or any other site, Equestria Daily, the new Amino app, which is awesome, or anything that has to do with this fandom, if you see stuff that you don't like, it's just not worth hating over. You can express your dislike, but don't be disrespectful about it, because you have to think there are people who put their time and effort into it, whether it be explicit in nature or not, or gory in nature or not, or whatever it may be. People still put their time and effort into that. Whether it seems like they did or didn't, they still did. They put some effort into it. And just going and bashing on it, it's not helping. It's not promoting what this fandom is about. And I've said it before, and I will say it again. This fandom is amazing. And I wouldn't be as happy as I am now if I didn't have it. Because, again, discussions for a different video. I'm not going to get into it. But we need to police this fandom ourselves, because nobody is going to do it for us. Now, to those people who like to get into those chat matches, fine. That's fine by me. But it's not worth it in the long run. It really isn't. It doesn't help us. You're just getting into an argument with somebody who wants to be how they are because they feel that this isn't something that we should watch. And obviously we will disagree. But we need to disagree on our own. So whether it be you leave the lobby and then you go on to Skype or FimFiction and go, oh, this guy was a total a-hole or something, vent your steam away from the person, because you're just going to fuel their fire, you're just going to fuel the hater fire, and you're not going to help us in the long run. But, you know, you are you. You have the decision to do whatever you want with your life, and pick your own battles as however you want. I'm not trying to say that you have to do as I say, because if I was saying that, then I'd be no better than the haters, because that's what they're saying. My whole point with this whole video, was to ask the question, why is this a thing in the fandom? Why in this amazing fandom full of amazing people does this happen? Will I get a straight answer? No. But I just wanted to voice how I felt. Now, how many people will see this? Probably not many. But to those who do see it, take the time to question yourself, especially if you're a brony. To question what I've been saying through this entire video. Question what I've said. But know this. This fandom is amazing. And as long as we are around, the people in it, as long as we are around, we will continue to make each other happy. Between our conversations, between watching the show, all of that. We will still be here. With or without the hate, with or without the reactions to the hate. We will still be here and we will still be kicking. So, I'm sorry if this video has kind of become rambling, but this is a very important topic to me because this fandom is very important to me. This fandom has slightly become my life because it has helped me so much. And I just don't want us to slip down the wrong path. I don't want us to slip into a path where we forget what this show has taught us, where all we care about is attacking these haters and basically stooping down to their levels. I wanted to voice how this is... Sorry. This whole thing is just about the great fandom that we are and what we do. We're not perfect, but that's the best thing about us. Because anybody can come in and add their little spin. And that's why I don't want us to slip down the path of just continually going after people who say just one bad thing about us. Because it's not worth it. We know who we are. We are bronies. We are normal. We are average people who just like a show. We have a strong liking for it. We create fanfics. We create fan art. We create fan music. We are creative people. We are normal people. And all of us are united by a single show. Just like any other group. Our show just happens to originally be rated for young girls. And there's nothing wrong with that. And to any and all of the haters who end up seeing this video, I just have to say to you, you can come at us. You can say what you want. And there are some people that will be driven away by what you say. And I feel remorse for those people because they didn't deserve what happened to them. But know this. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you push at us, no matter how much hate and mud you sling our way, we are not going anywhere. Bronies are a fandom. We are a worldwide group of people who are dedicated to helping each other, to doing good. And we are all here because of a little girl's show. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. Because if, in the long run, when you think about it, when it's a little girl's show that has provided so many charities with thousands of dollars, with so many people being pulled away from the threat of suicide, and just helping people feel accepted in the world, whether it's for girls, boys, young or old, does it really matter when a show does that much good? Ask yourself that, because that is the big question. Does it matter? That's for little girls. When it does, not just us, but other people who may not like the show, so much good. Now, I'm sorry that this video got a little off topic, and I, of course, have to apologize for what is going to be very crappy mic audio. But to those who have stuck around through this incredibly long video, I thank you. I thank you for letting me rant. You know what? No. I thank you for letting me talk. For letting me tell you how I feel. This is Bucking Bronco, 1968. Mason Lighthooves, signing out. To all my bronies, forever love. To all the haters, we'll still be kicking no matter what you say. And to everybody else, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.